Hello students, in previous lecture we saw that the bus conductor was always in cheerful mood. He gave the message of good tempers and kindness. The writer tells us that a journey with him was a lesson in natural courtesy and good manners. Today in this video lecture we will discuss about good manners and bad manners. What struck me particularly was the ease with which he got through his work. If bad manners are infectious, so also are good manners. If we encounter incivility, most of us are apt to become uncivil. But it is an unusually uncouth, uncouth means impolite person who can be disagreeable with sunny people. It is with manners as with the weather. Nothing clears up my spirit like a fine day, said kids. And a cheerful person descends on even the gloomiest of us with something of the benediction. Benediction means blessing of a fine day. So it was always fine weather on the polite conductor's bus and his own civility. His conciliatory address and good humor bearing infected his passengers. In lightening their spirit, he lightened his own task. His gaiety was not a wasteful luxury but a sound investment. In this paragraph, writer liked his skill of working according to the writer if bad manners was sorry bad manners are infectious as well as good manners are infectious. It is usually an uncouth person who disagree with sunny person means polite person. The writer says that it is with manners as with the weather. Keats means the he was a poet and Keats said that nothing clears up my spirit as a fine day. A cheerful person gives on even the gloomiest person with benediction. Benediction means blessing of a fine day. The polite bus conductor, his civility, his conciliatory address, good humor, infected his passengers. In lightening other spirit, he lightened his own task. His gaiety means jolliness, was not a wasteful luxury but a sound investment means good manners open the closed door and bad manners close the open door. Next paragraph. I have missed I have missed him from my bus route of late, but I hope that only means that he has carried his sunshine on to another road. It cannot be too widely diffused in a rather drab world, and I make no apologies for writing a panegyric on an unknown bus conductor. If Wordsworth could gather lesson of wisdom from the poor leech gatherer on the lonely moor, I see no reason why lesser people should not take lesson in contact for one who shows how a very modest calling may be dignified by good tempers and kindly feeling. In this paragraph, writer further says that he has now changed his bus route, but he misses the polite bus conductor who carried his sunshine on to another road. It cannot be too widely diffused is rather dull and boring world. A polite person carries his sunshine wherever they go. He says he will make no apologies for writing panegyric on an unknown bus conductor because if Wordsworth, he was an English poet, can learn lesson. Wordsworth can learn lessons of wisdom from a poor leech gatherer on a lonely moor. Then there is no reason why people should not take lesson from the other person who shows how to be modest, dignified, and good tempers and kindly feelings. Next paragraph. It is matter of general agreement that the war has had a chilling effect upon those little everyday civilities of behavior that sweeten the general year. We must get those civilities back if we are to make life kindly and tolerable for each other. We cannot get them back by invoking the law. The policeman is necessary symbol and the law is necessary institution for a society that is still somewhat lower than the angels. But the law can only protect us against material attack, nor will the lieutenant's ways of meeting moral affront affronts by physical violence help us to restore the civilities. I suggest to him that he would have had a more subtle and effective revenge if he had treated the gentleman who would not say please with elaborate politeness. He would have had the victory not only over the boor but over himself, and that is the victory that counts. The polite man may lose the material advantage, but he always has the spiritual victory. I commend to the lieutenant a story of Chesterfield. In his times, the London streets were without the pavements of today, and the man who looked the wall had the driest footing. I never give the wall to a scoundrel, said a man who met Chesterfield one day in the street. I always do, said Chesterfield, stepping with a bow into the road. I hope the liftman will agree that his revenge was much more sweet than if he had flung the fellow into the mud. In this last paragraph, writer says that the war had chilling effect upon our little everyday civilities of behavior that sweeten the general year. Which means because of war fight and rights we have lost faith in humanity and we have forgot our common courtesy. We have to get our civilities back to make life kindly and tolerable for each other. Law cannot be invoked to bring civilities, it can only protect you against material attack. Law cannot be protect for good manners, but law can be protect for material attack. A policeman is necessary symbol and the law is necessary institution for society. Humans are lower than angels. The lieutenant's ways of meeting his moral insult by physical violence will never help to bring back the civilities. Writers suggest the lieutenant that he would have had more clever and effective revenge if he had treated the other gentleman with politeness. He would have won victory not only over the boor means foolish persons, and but over himself, and this victory counts. Even if a polite man loses the material advantage, he always has a spiritual victory. The story of Chesterfield, the writer talk us another example of Chesterfield. He was a British writer. The writer mentioned to the liftman a story of Chesterfield in London. Old time, there are no pavement on the road. The person who looked the wall had the driest feet. Once a man came from the other side of the wall and Chesterfield from his opposite side. The man said that I never give the wall to a scoundrel. Chesterfield replies, I always do, and step aside with a bow into the road. I hope that the liftman will agree that this revenge was much more sweetened than if he had flung the fellow in the mud. Means we can learn a lesson of wisdom and politeness from the conductor. The writer motivates all the readers to follow good manners. Good manners sweeten the social atmosphere. We should be polite to all and we must accept in politeness from others as a part of life. I hope that you will understand each point very clearly. Thank you, everyone.